So let's go ahead and talk about squats and alternatives to squats. Sometimes maybe you're cool with squats, but you just like every single workout you ever do has squats in it. It sounds like I have dinosaurs. My kids are stomping above me. The other thing is, some people, the squat is a pretty advanced exercise, even though it's included in a lot of workouts, because you're bending at the hips, you're bending at the knees, you're leaning backwards. It takes core stability, and it takes a good bit of flexibility. It takes a good bit of flexibility in the hamstrings, in your calves, and your low back, and it does take some core strength. So you can see where this movement, you need flexibility back here. You need your low back to not hurt and want to like arch because it's tight. And we need to be strong through here in order to keep our organs in place and to stay stable. And we're leaning backwards, which not everybody really feels comfortable doing. So there are some ways that we can alter squats. We're not going to get in that today because I promised you we were going to tone the tush without squats. So I'm just going to show you some ideas. You guys always be cleared by your doctor or your healthcare provider before you exercise or try something new. And these are just demos. So one thing, if you prefer kind of to stand, grab a sturdy chair. Make sure it's not going to roll away. And standing exercises are nice because this does involve some balance work as well. It's good to challenge your balance, but not to the point where you feel uncomfortable. So I'm just going to grab a chair. If you have a wonderful balance, you could do it hands-free, right? I'm just going to keep my hips pointed toward the side wall here. I'm just going to do a leg lift. It doesn't look like anything crazy. I'm not swinging wildly, but I really feel this in the glutes, and I'm feeling it in the hamstrings too. Do you notice that I'm standing nice and tall? And I'm not doing anything like that where I'm arching, trying to fling the leg up somehow by doing something funny with my core, right? So there's lots of variations on this, but you get the idea. My standing leg's knee stays slightly bent so that I'm comfortable and happy. You guys, another one that you could try is a bent knee and a flexed foot. And you just push back a little bit. Can you see my heel moving in front of the door now? And I feel this a little bit more in my hamstrings. This one may not be for everybody, but again, can you see that I'm standing nice and tall? I'm not doing anything. Basically from the shoulders down to the hip is still. Okay, so we're not squatting. I'm gonna hold on, I need the balance too. So another thing, you guys, some people will do certain exercises like this on hands and knees. You may recognize them, but some people are very uncomfortable going down on their kneecaps. So we have modifications for that too. So I'm going to use my chair this way. I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to use the actual seat. But if you if you have limited flexibility in your hamstrings, you can do it on the higher back of your chair. Just make sure you're hinging at the hips, and then the back is staying nice and flat. So I'm going to turn mine around. I have pretty good flexibility, if I do say so myself. So I'm going to place my hands here, and I am going to go with a bent knee. And I'm going to push the heel up toward the ceiling. You can see, similarity to what we just did standing, but I'm going to do this. I'm going to imagine I have like a heavy weight on the bottom of my shoe that I'm just pushing up. So neck stays in alignment with the spine. I'm not doing anything funny with my abs or my low back. Slight bend in the standing leg's knee. And of course I would change sides because that would be weird only to work one leg all the time. So another thing, you guys, I'm going to bring you down to the floor. You can work your tush working from the floor, which, obviously feels very stable. As long as you can get down onto the floor and get back up again, you're good to go, probably. So I'm going to bring you down here. I'm going to try not to make you sick. Can we do it slow? You guys are cool. You're my people. You understand. Okay, so let me get in the right way. So I'm just going to lay down. I'm not going to take a nap, even though I kind of want to. So you can work the tush by doing, some people call them pelvic tilts, some people call them bridge lifts. Basically, you're lifting the hips up and you're squeezing the tush, okay? So if you want to try these a few times, you certainly can, lifting up. I do feel it through my core as well. But this is the key here. If something feels uncomfortable, sometimes people feel this a bit in their knees, you may need to walk your feet out a little bit, or you may need to move them in a little bit. I keep mine decently close to my tush, but that's up to you. Now, don't just lift and lower like flinging yourself around. It's not the cutest exercise anyway. Squeeze the tush at the top, then come down. So as I come up, I exhale, I inhale on the way down. There are lots of variations on this one as well. If you notice any discomfort in the knee, it may be an indication that you need to stop or check with your trainer on your form. But another thing you can do is to kind of focus your energy on almost feel like your legs are lengthening and you're pushing energy out through the knees, just so that our weight is shifted a little bit that way instead of back. Sometimes people's knees feel nicer that way. So those are some ideas for standing and for laying on the ground. And again, there's lots of variations on that if you like that. So you guys have a fabulous weekend. Let me know if there are other exercises you'd like to see substitutions for, because that's weirdly fun for me. So